Hi everyone, my name is Miguel Gutierrez and I'll be guiding you today through a Feldenkrais Method inspired sequence with the intention of relaxing and loosening up. This is something you can do at the beginning of your day, in the middle of your day, at the end of your day, whenever you want to just calm down your nervous system a little bit. In this video, there's a combination of visual demonstration and just some natural imagery. You can refer to the visual demonstration whenever it's useful, or you can also just choose to follow along with the verbal instructions. That's fine as well. So this is a Feldenkrais Method inspired sequence, and one of the beautiful tenets from the Feldenkrais Method is that we don't really learn when we're in pain. So it's best to try to find a way of being as comfortable as possible as you do this work today. And you don't have to endure anything that's uncomfortable, and you don't have to grit your teeth and plow through. And there's a couple different suggestions for how you can step away from pain and move towards pleasure, because we are seeking pleasure throughout the lesson. The first suggestion is that if anything that you're instructed to do hurts for you, you can always do less. You can always do less than what's being asked of you to do. And if that's still too much, you can do even less than that, right? And if that's too much, you can just imagine the instruction, because imagining the instruction will also fire the same aspects of your nervous system that you use to do the movement or to do the action. And you can always choose to rest whenever you want to and come back into the work when you're ready. All right, well, let's begin. Make a space for yourself on the floor. Clear out some room where you can lie down with space to the left and the right of you. If you'd like to, you can put down a mat or a blanket, or you can put a little blanket over a mat if you'd like. Line your back. If you find that your chin is quite far away from your chest, you can place some folded towels under your head to even out that space. As many as you need. It's better to use towels than to use a pillow, because a pillow will absorb too much movement. If lying on your back with your legs long is too much of a strain for your lower back, you can always bend your legs and bring your feet to the floor and rest that way. If you have a roller, you can put that roller under your knees so that your knees are supported. If you don't have a roller and you'd still like to experience that kind of position of your legs, maybe you can take a long pillow, or you can roll up a blanket to create a small cylinder and rest your legs on that. Always remember that if it's a struggle for you to reach the floor, you can always find ways to bring the floor to you, using blankets, pillows, towels, whatever you have available. Take the time that you need to take to create the ideal conditions for your own learning. Throughout the sequence today, you can choose to work with your eyes open or closed, whatever helps you get into yourself. Breathe. Bring attention to the connection between your body and the ground. Where are you making contact? Where is there space? You're going to scan through your own body and its connection to the floor, beginning with your feet. Notice which parts of your feet are touching the ground and how that may be different from your right foot to your left foot. Then bring your attention up your legs to the next space where you make contact with the floor, which is probably in your lower legs, your calves, and just take stock if there's a difference between your right leg and your left leg. And then travel your awareness up your leg to the next place where you make contact with the ground, which is going to be different for everyone, of course, but it'll probably be somewhere in your upper legs. Noticing if there's a difference in the way that you're experiencing contact with the floor from your right leg to your left leg. We're not trying to force a symmetry here. We're not making a demand for your two legs to feel the same thing. You're just noticing. And then bring your attention to your pelvis and how you're making contact with the floor. What part of your butt feels heavy? What part of your butt feels light? And again, every body is different, so as you bring your awareness into your back, you may notice that the contact between your back and the floor begins fairly immediately above your pelvis, and for some of us there will be a lot more space there. So notice where you start to make contact with the floor through your back. The width and the breadth of that contact. As you breathe, you may feel that contact changing, moving, noticing the contact at the level of your shoulders, gently noticing if there's a difference between your right and left shoulder and its contact with the floor. And then allow your attention to go out to your hands. How are your hands making contact with the floor? Are you on the front of your hands, the back of your hands, the sides of your hands? Are your fingers long or curled? And then allow your attention to travel up your arms, noticing the differences between your right and left forearms and the contact that space of yourself is making with the floor. And then your upper arms. And then back into the trunk of your body. Your awareness passes through your neck to your head, and notice where you make contact with the floor through the back of your head. And maybe even here you can perceive a little difference between the right side and the left side of the back of your head. And then just generalize your attention to notice your whole body, your whole self. We use this kind of scan to sort of notice these different spaces in ourselves, but of course we're not compartmentalized. We are whole, and every part of us is connected to and related to every other part of us. And bend your legs and bring your feet to the floor. If you've been using a roller or a pillow underneath your knees, take it out from there and just move it out of the way. And find a stance that's comfortable for you. So it may not be the first stance you choose. Maybe you want to bring your feet closer to your pelvis, further from your pelvis, farther apart or closer together. Find a placement for your feet where you're using the least amount of effort to keep your knees directed towards the ceiling. If at any point it feels like too much work to keep your knees balanced in this way, lengthen your legs and rest, and rejoin the sequence when you're ready. Check in with your breathing again. Check in with your overall muscle tone. Is there anywhere you can soften? Paying attention to yourself doesn't mean that you have to create tension in yourself. You can be aware and soft at the same time. Notice the movement that you feel as you breathe. Allow the movement to happen. Soften the muscles of your jaw, the muscles of your neck, the space of your chest. And now very easily, very gently, begin to tilt your knees a little bit in one direction and back to center, and then to the other direction and back to center. It's a small movement, and let it be a small movement. It's a slow movement, and let it be a slow movement. So this is not a test of your flexibility. We're working in a small, comfortable, pleasurable range of motion. Now, you may have your arms down along your side. You can also do this with your arms out to the side, palms facing towards the ceiling. Relax your neck and notice what your head spontaneously does in response to the movement of your legs. Notice as you tilt your legs, let's say to the left, how you roll to the inside of your right foot and the outside of your left foot. And then as you tilt your knees to the right, you roll to the inside of your left foot and to the outside of your right foot, and allow that to happen. And then just enjoy tilting your knees from one side to the other. Notice how the movement of your legs affects your whole body, the rest of your back and its contact with the floor. Also, your shoulders, your chest, and then let that all go. Lengthen your legs, lower your arms, and rest. And just take in the effects of this soft, gentle action. Notice how you're making contact with the floor. Notice your breathing. And then, when you're ready to, bend your legs again, bring your feet to the floor. Check in once again with the position that you've chosen for your feet, and if that position is working for you, or if you'd like to try a slightly different position for your feet, either closer together, further apart, closer to your pelvis, further from your pelvis. You're never stuck with the first choice that you make. You're always free to experiment with something else. Bring your arms out to the sides once again with your palms facing the ceiling. And begin once again this action of tilting your knees in one direction and the other, but this time turn your head in the opposite direction to your knees and coordinate it in such a way that your head and your knees move at the same time. So as your knees move to the left, your head is turning, rolling to the right. And as your knees pass through center, your head also passes through center. And as you tilt your knees to the right, your head turns to the left. And again, it doesn't have to be a big movement. You don't have to go to the farthest place in your range with your neck and your head. You can stay in an easy, comfortable range. And just notice what it's like to add this movement. As we said before, you're not trying to force yourself into any kind of symmetry. You're just noticing the differences, noticing where things are the same, but most of all, noticing the sensation of tilting and turning. If turning your head in the opposite direction of your knees feels like too extreme of a spiral for your body, you can always also choose to turn your head in the same direction as your knees. So as your knees tilt to the left, your head will turn to the left, and as your knees tilt to the right, your head will turn to the right. Be mindful not to just drop your knees to one side, haul them back to center, and then drop them to the other. It's not that you can't do that action. It's just not the action that we're focusing on right now. And let that all go. Lengthen your legs long. Lower your arms and rest. Notice the way that the contact between your body and the ground is changing. Maybe on a very subtle level. Maybe in a way that wouldn't necessarily be visible to the outside. Notice where your awareness goes in your body as you rest here with your legs long. Bend your legs, bring your feet to standing. We're going to add just a couple of variations to this basic action. Take your right leg and lift it and cross it over your left leg. Arms out to the side, palms facing the ceiling. And just tilt your legs to the left and back to center a few times. So you may feel that the right side of your pelvis comes away from the floor more, in a more pronounced way than it has up until now. Just gently direct your knees to the left and back to center. Again, you don't have to go to your extreme. And then allow your head to go into the opposite direction, towards the right, as your knees move to the left. Try that a few times. And come back to center. Uncross your legs. If you need to rest, rest. And then cross your left leg over your right leg and tilt your knees to the right. Notice if that feels different than the first side. You may feel a kind of pull across your whole self. The left side of your pelvis moves away from the floor. Maybe you feel the pull all the way up in your left shoulder. Add to this action the rolling of your head to the left. Again, moving in a gentle, small range. You're not muscling the rolling of your head. You're not trying to go to the extreme end of your range of motion. You're focusing on the sensation, the timing of the movement, and as always, seeing how you can do less work in the action. Good. Let that go. Uncross your legs. Lengthen them long. Lower your arms and rest. Bend your legs. Bring your feet to standing. You can choose to go back to the idea of crossing your right leg over your left leg, or you could choose to cross your right ankle over your left knee. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And begin to send your right foot down towards the floor on your left, which will tilt your left knee to the left. Again, it's a small action. The floor is just a reference, right? It's not a destination. It's not a demand. It just gives you a sense of where you're intending to direct your foot. And then you bring it back up to where you started, and you try that again a few times. You can add to this action the rolling of your head to the right, easily allowing your head to roll to the right as you direct your legs to the left. Come back to center, uncross your legs, rest if you'd like. You can also choose to rest with your legs bent. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. And begin to tilt your right knee to the right, as if you were reaching for the floor on the right side, the bottom of your left foot. You'll notice that as you do this, you're rolling to the outside of your right foot. Notice, does this feel easier? Does this feel like a more natural movement for your body? Does it feel a little more unfamiliar? If the first side was easier, what can we learn from the way that you did the action on the other side that you can bring to this side? Add to this tilting the rolling of your head to the left, away from the direction of your knees. Breathe. Soften. Let go of any demand you're making on yourself to do this action well. Let go of ambition. Let go of the need to be correct. Let go of your need to push through. Stay soft. Stay gentle with yourself, not only in the tone of your muscles, but in the approach of your spirit. Good, bring that back. Uncross your legs. Lengthen your legs long and rest. Notice how you feel now. Notice the connection between your body and the ground now. Notice the quality of your breathing now. What does taking this kind of time with yourself allow you to feel? Bend your legs. Roll yourself to one side. It doesn't matter which side. Bring whatever arm is on top, bring the hand of that arm to the floor to support you as you come to sitting. From sitting, you can go onto your hands and knees in the easiest way possible for you. There's no rush. Take your time. From your hands and your knees, tuck your toes. Walk your hands back a bit. Bring your weight onto your feet. Gently transfer the weight from your hands to the bottoms of your feet. Take a moment hanging over your legs with your legs bent, your knees bent. Roll yourself up. And stand. Notice your breath. And go for a little walk. Good work. Well, that's the end of our sequence for today. Thank you so much for participating, and thank yourself for giving yourself the time to do so. I hope that you feel a little softer now, or a little more loose, or at the very least that you're just feeling a little more than you were able to feel before. I want to give thanks to my mother, Miguel Gutierrez, who's 83 years old and still making it happen. And if you'd like to find out more information about the way that I work with the Feldenkrais Method, you can go to www.learning-body.com, where you can find out more information about the method itself, or you can make a private appointment with me. I am offering these kinds of guided sequences, these guided lessons online at the moment. Thank you so much, stay safe, and have a great day.